This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
Hey there, it's Michelle, and I want to help you to live an epic story lifestyle. So, I'd like for you to do me a favor. Go over to epicstorylifestyle.com/live life to grab a free copy of my Hacks for Living an Epic Story Lifestyle checklist. Thanks.
Welcome back, boys and girls, to another edition of Epic Story Lifestyle. Here is the chief storyteller herself, Michelle Spiva. What is up?
Oh, everything and nothing. How you doing?
Everything and nothing. I like that.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm really glad to be here with you today, and I'm excited about today's show. When I was I've been processing what these shows mean because, hey, let's face it, it sounds like it's just you and me talking. And a lot of times it feels like that until I get a chance to talk with people who actually know me and give me feedback on what the shows have been doing for them. Really? I have one friend, I said I was going to give him a shout out, one of my closest friends. He has listened to every podcast that he has access to. And he says he likes to listen to them when he's traveling and, deal with the fact that he has time to process what the podcasts are saying, and he's not in meetings, not dealing with people. And so he finds that it's really a cool time for him to do that. And we were talking, and now that I've gotten a year, yes, it's been a year.
No kidding.
A year of doing the podcast. I was thinking, well, what would, in a perfect society, somebody listening to these podcasts and having fulfilled the objectives that I'm hoping that they're fulfilling, what would that look like? And that would look like people are either living or starting to live a epic storied lifestyle where you're daring greatly, you're doing different things. And so today I'm going to be talking about so you've been criticized, handling criticism for living an epic story lifestyle. You see there, I know you probably thought I was going to come with something. Woohoo, you did it. Way, yay. You'll get a unicorn sticker. No, it's been a setup, people. If you start living a authentic epic story lifestyle, you are going to be criticized. And you're going to be criticized because you're going to work outside of the norm and cause people to have use more brain power and deal with more emotions that come up for them for trying to interact with you. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the first thing I want to say is, welcome to your new life. Let the criticizing begin. There's a book by Brene Brown called Dare Greatly, and I really like the book because Brene Brown out of Texas is a psychology researcher who has dealt with the idea of suffering and hope and all these other things, and so she's been a forerunner in helping people understand these particular dynamics of our psychology of being. And when she talked about Dare Greatly, one of the things that I liked is that after she said, I told people to dare greatly, but then I forgot to tell them the fallout that happens when you dare greatly. And so she did follow it up with another book, but for today's, for sake of time, and today I'm going to be giving you my little bent on, what happens when you dare greatly or you live an epic story lifestyle. Well, the first thing is like I said before, people are not going to necessarily like it. And so you're going to get criticized. Now, one of the things that you guys know, and I'll mention it again for if you're a new listener, I am a full-time novelist. I write romance novels, actually. And I've even talked about it on other shows. The reviews and the criticisms I get. It's hard. But on the other side, I get to see the other side of it too, because I'm also a writing coach, and I help people learn how to find their voice and write their craft. I focus on fiction, but still it's writing, it's pouring yourself out. And if you're really doing your job well, you leave a little bit of yourself on that page for posterity's sake. And so when someone comes up and gives you a bad review or says something that's just mean-spirited, it deals with you. One of the things, and we've talked about this before, JR, one of the things that was a big what the heck moment for me was that I spend more time when I'm coaching people. I spend more time begging people to publish than I do getting them to write the book. You would think it would be the other way around, right?
Yeah.
It's not. I get people that will write a great book and not publish it. And I really believe it's because internally, now, they have fancy words for it: fear of being seen, fear of success. And yeah, I will say that too, but I'll probably say this. They know once you step out onto the world stage, everybody's a critic. They already know it. And so it's really hard knowing this doom is coming, right?
Yeah.
So when you're dealing with criticism, there is going to be a strong rejection factor there. And I don't know about you, but I've been living a lot of years and I have still not figured out how to kick the impact of rejection on me. It is debilitating. That sucker, I could just punch it. It's just horrible. And it's a needling kind of thing, because right when you think you're over it, pow, it comes back. You've been rejected. So criticism immediately throws a lot of us, I'm not going to say everybody, but it throws a lot of us into that realm of existence, and it doesn't feel good. So I don't know about you, but we have these natural fight or flight tendencies, and I think a lot of people, when you start to live or think about living an epic story lifestyle, your fight or flight response kicks in. Some of us are fighters, some of us are flyers. And so for my flyers, I'm usually under the proverbial table saying, come out from under. You got to get this over with. And you're going to be criticized. You're going to feel that rejection. But then this is the thing. After the rejection, it's almost like you can tell the process of criticism, because after that, then you get into the feeling of being misunderstood, where you go around trying to explain yourself, trying to placate people, trying to position what you've done in a different way. And, I'm going to just say that's for babies. Ain't nobody got time to try to re-articulate what you meant. Either you meant it and you meant it, or you didn't. Don't dilute your epicness. People, don't dilute your epicness. So once you move from the rejection to trying to explain yourself because you feel like you've been misunderstood, well then hellfire and brimstone, anger just has to come in. You just have to get pissed off about it. Oops, can we say that word?
Uh-oh.
You have to, well, I do say that word, I do. That's one of my approved words. You deal with your anger. And so, those are some of the things that happen with that. But I want to just say that today I want to present for your inspection and possible acceptance a way to move forward past the anger. Okay? And that is, are you ready, JR?
Ready.
That's to allow these critics to interact with what you've done in their own way, with their own interpretation, no matter how it differs from what you meant, not trying to explain yourself, and just let them love it. I have this saying, I love it if you like it for you, not for me, for you. And a lot of times I have been forgetting that when I give me 30 seconds to vent. So I had this review that came in that said my now I write romance, right? And the person happened to say that my romantic relationship between the characters was immature. Now, of course, I actually did. I tried to go and look at the reviewer and all this kind of stuff. And I did gain a lot of insight. Like the fact that this person has read 31 books since January in my genre. And of those 31, this person, because I don't know if it's male or female, has said that 26 of them are immature.
Whoa.
Yeah. But then, and then I was like, but wait a minute, I have 25 years experience as a relationship coach and therapist. So I kind of know what I'm talking about, And then I had to swallow and take my own medicine and let it be. That was that person's interpretation of what I put out. So I had done my job. They were interacting with what I'd done. And it's their prerogative how they take it. I don't have to like it. I've just done my job, because instead of them, I talked about this at a previous show, instead of them just ingesting it hook, line, and sinker and becoming a little parrot to just repeat back to me what I gave them, they interacted with it and they had a response so powerful that they took the time to come back and leave a review. 1 star, it might be, but leave it a review just the same. Now, I did do my famous, I did pray for them. I did. I was like, Lord, by the measure they have judged, let it come back to them 100-fold. Bless your heart, little darling. I sure did. But for that, it was very freeing, because I would have never gotten the rejection if I wasn't living my most epic life that I could imagine. Writing and getting on this stage, and even with this podcast and all the different things, I am learning that we are going to get criticized. How you handle it is the difference. So let's look at a little more of this framing. So this framing of looking at interpretation instead of ingesting, not ingestation, because that's not a word, instead of ingesting. So instead of people just swallowing what you put out and never interacting with it, I think we get a better life experience if we can just acknowledge how people are interacting and be like, that's nice for you. Okay, I'm glad that I gave you some kind of feeling, some kind of emotion, and keep it moving. So instead of being reactionary to criticism, being proactive about it and saying, let me go do some more stuff to get more reaction and interaction out of you. Because connection is really interaction anyway. And interaction, you can't control both sides of it. That's just another way of manipulating people. And so I want to inspire, entertain, but never manipulate anybody. Because this is not about brainwashing. This is not about me setting up a cult. Although, when I was younger, I used to fantasize. But anyway, it's not about that. It really is about putting my art, my creativity out there and letting people interact with it in whichever way they want to, as long as it doesn't cause me or anybody else harm. So that's where I really am wanting our dear readers to look at recently. Okay, so I know this is probably coming after we're recording this, but recently kids went back to school around our nation, and there was this beautiful, it touched me so greatly. It just really touched me. This school teacher, he's new. This is his first year. He's so young. You could look at his little bright face and see how excited he is. He made a little rap song called Welcome to the 4th Grade. You can see it on YouTube. It's beautiful. Now, this guy wrote this song, and he wrote it for his students. He didn't even upload it. The guy who was the videographer for it put it up on his site to show people, oh, I can do this, for business sake. So the 4th grade teacher didn't even put it up on his channel as of this recording. He gave it to his students as a welcome. And it's a cute video. Do you know, he dared greatly. He did something epic. The videographer put it up, and people started hating on him. They accused him of stealing Michael Jackson's song, Where Will You Be, from the soundtrack of Free Willy. I was like, good God, today. people, okay, so people, oh my gosh. And you know what? I'm going to be talking about this coming up in another one because, I just, JR, let me breathe, because I get to the point now where all I really want to do is just go out there and win the internet for the normal folk.
Good luck.
I'm so tired of I'm so tired of the cuckoos out there who they could find issues with a plushie toy. It's just crazy. So they bashed the poor little guy, saying he stole it. Some folks accuse him of other heinous things. And then, some of us, I think, who really connected with the song. Now, I don't have any kids, but I wanted to donate to his class. So we asked, how do you donate? The videographer came back, not him, and said, if you want to, you can do this. Do you know, people came back and said, don't give him anything. He's a scammer.
Wow.
I kid you not. Don't give this. Wait. And this is after school teachers who he had interned with when he was in school said, I'm so proud of you. You were a great intern. You were a great teacher. So you've got validation all up the wazoo. Even another little kid that said, I'm in his class and it is so fun, came on there. And these people were like, don't give him any money. He's a scammer.
I love it.
We will never have sugar in our cake again if it is up to the internet. We just won't. And, so if that happens to a school teacher who wanted to just do a great thing for his students, to be as epic as he could be as a first-year school teacher, what do you think is going to happen when you decide to live your best life? In the good book, Jesus said, in this life, you will have troubles. I want to amend that and say, in this life, you will have internet trolls. To me,
there will be trolls.
There will be trolls. Because to me, that's just crazy. That is so crazy. And yes, I will go on the record by saying I did find a way to contribute to the school, so I thought it was great. But if you are going to do this, and I know it is hard. I know you're like, Michelle, it's going to take more than 20 minutes to get me to live my life without praying that nobody sees me. Poo-poo. Darling, it is just not going to happen. Unless you find a way to live in an alternate dimension where nobody is there and do what you do, which is boring anyway, you're going to be seen, and people are going to have something to say about it. So why not just go on and do your thing and learn how to become, instead of reactionary, proactive, and just say, just a reframing. I'm getting you to interact with me. Great job. Don't try to kill me or stalk me and we'll be fine. And so going back to even me, I am learning that if I get a 1-star review, I cause somebody to interact with my book enough to take time they will never get back. I don't care even if they decided to return the book. The time you took to formulate the whatever viciousness of how you hated my book, that is still payment in some kind of way to me. And that's how I'm choosing to reframe it. So people, I want you to know that criticism can become a currency that benefits you. You don't have to look at it as something, as a punishment for living your life. By the way, I'm in my muse moment. So this is my muse moment. That criticism is a currency and you can use it for your benefit. So just as many people praise you, well, not just as many, but you're going to have criticisms, and embrace those too, the same way you do the praises, because they're all letting you know people are interacting with something you've done. To me, that is powerful and even mystical and magical, that something I do here can affect somebody else somewhere in the world so much that it ignites a response for them to react in a visible way. for me to see it, or whatever. Now, that does not mean if you don't like my books for everybody to start coming.
Opening up the floodgates, huh?
Yeah, because I will be praying on you, and you don't want me praying on you. Not praying, P-R-E, praying, P-R-I-A is what I mean. So, so that's what I wanted to say. And I did talk about how my reviews on books and, the little flippant things people say about my work or who I am as a person, and they don't realize that you might be a freaking computer monitor warrior, but you will always have to answer for your actions. But I'm serving notice that my epiphany is I live an epic story lifestyle. There will be criticism. Thank you. Drops the mic and walks off the stage. So what
Nice.
do you think about that, JR?
Well, I'm glad that you brought this up, because it is definitely one of the things that happens. But I wanna quote one of the great poets and songwriters of our time and say the haters are gonna hate. So shake it off.
And thank you, T. Swifty. I love it.
Good stuff. So, Michelle, what do you have in store for us next time?
Next time I'm going to be talking about this insidious plague that's the new death toll of our society. I'm going to be talking about the Black Plague of today's time, unforgiveness, and how it eats away at us. I'll be talking about it and when it's a good time to forgive and forget. So that's what I'll be talking about next time.
Right, looking forward to it. This was a fun episode. We will be back in your earbuds next week. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Epic Story Livers, for tuning in, and see you soon.
Bye. Hey, Michelle here again. If you like today's show, remember to go to iTunes and in the search bar, type Epic Story Lifestyle. And when you see me, hit that subscribe button. If you really like today's show, hey, come on, do me a solid by giving a rating and a review. If you've got questions, comments, or even show topics you'd like to hear me cover in the future, tell me about them when you leave that wonderful review. All right, my time is up and I thank you for yours. See you next time. Now go out, make some great decisions that give you that epic story lifestyle.
This is the podcastfactory.com.